for me, the biggest bottleneck I ran into was I want to scale more offers at once.
Yeah.
And I need more guys that are willing to test the way I want to test. And I need better content creation team. And I need a better operations, and I need organization. Organization, I think, will kill a business if you don't have it. The first thing I did was, okay, I was like, let's get organized. And when I mean organized, I mean very organized. I have SOPs for everything you can imagine. Basically, taken every offer that we've ever ran, we have notes on every offer. Is it still active? Is it not active?
All right, guys, welcome to another podcast. Today we have my good friend, Kareem Mohamed. I was just with this guy down in Miami. He was speaking at the Advanced Affiliate Mastermind, and it was a great time. It was a really good time, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. It was great. Excited to be on here. I feel like this is like a monumental step. I feel like once I got invited on, I'm like, I made it, you know?
Dude, how do we meet each other? Because like I feel like we're like besties now, but like I don't even really remember. Like I remember I'd see you everywhere and like we'd chat slightly.
I went to a dinner one time and I met Cam. And I remember he mentioned your name, and then I don't know, for some reason I remember Chandelier Bar. One time we were just standing there and some with, you know, all the other dudes, maybe Tyler was there, and I saw you and I eventually talked to you because, you know, you have your group and stuff. And I met some of the other affiliates and they were like, you got to talk to Gabe. And I was like, let me go meet him. And then I was like, it just was so simple.
Yeah. Was that the same time that we went to that Bowski dinner, or was that before that?
Yeah, I think it was like right before that. And then that led up to that. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's when I started talking to you more. I was like, oh, what's up, man? How you been? You know?
Yeah.
I was like,
interesting. Here we are now. Feels like a lifetime, bro. Feels like a lifetime.
I know. I'm excited.
But I wanted to bring you on because like, dude, you've come up pretty quick, man. Like you've only been doing this for like, is it 2 years?
It's 4 years, 4 years of running like social media ads, literally almost 4.5, but yeah, 4.
Okay, cool. And I don't really know how you got here. Maybe you've told me before, but I totally forgot. I got a terrible fucking memory.
Yeah, I can talk about it if you want.
Yeah, you know, so maybe let's kind of dive into like what you were doing before this space and how you sort of found it and moved into it. And we'll go from there, man.
Cool. Yeah. So before the space, graduated college, 2018. I finished college. I'm like, I kind of want to go to med school. That was like the dream. I always wanted to be a plastic surgeon.
Bro, you look like a plastic surgeon. You know, I would trust you with my wife's tits.
Dude, I'm telling you, that was my dream. I was like, I want to do plastic surgery. It's so cool. I did a lot of, overseas stuff. I lived in Portugal for a bit, which was really cool to learn more and explore. So I finished that. You know, this is a true story too. This is crazy. I don't think I've ever said this like publicly. So I go to the first day of med school. And it was a Commonwealth in Pennsylvania, and it was in Scranton where they filmed The Office. I drive, I get there, I'm dressed up, buttoned down. I'm like so excited. I'm like, wow, first day, this is crazy. I'm meeting all these people, and I'm in the first orientation, like they're breaking down orientation. And I'll never forget this. The guy's just talking. He's talking and he's talking. And I'm like zoned out. I'm just not there entirely. And then we go to these group circle meetings, and he's explaining like, this is how much we can make. This is what the day-to-day looks like. This is what this is like. This is what that is like. And I just felt like so out of place. I never felt out of place in my life with anything until that moment. I drove home that day, called my best friend. Nikhil is a good friend of mine. And I told him, I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not going to med school. Like, I'm not doing it. And he was like screaming. He's like, there's no way you spend all this time. We went to UMass together. I went to University of Massachusetts, kinesiology, best program in the country. And I was like, he's like, we're not doing it. I go home and sit down with my mom and dad. First thing I told him was like, hey, it was a really hard conversation being a minority. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, guys, like not going to med school. And it was amazing because my parents are super supportive. I love my parents. And they were just like, if this is what you really feel, this is what you don't want to do, we support you, but you got to figure it out. They told me, it's like, you're going to have to figure this out. We're not going to sit here. Like, you got to do it. So time goes on. I was always interested in trading. So I started off as a trader. I did a lot of indices. I tried a little bit of Forex, super hard, really, really hard. Became really good at it. Learned from a guy overseas in Malaysia, actually. Leveraged accounts. made a little bit of money. And then the daily stress of it kind of bothered me. So I got into more like swing trading and then group trading. And we were like, we had a really tight knit group and it was great. I loved it. Long story short, how I get into affiliate. So I'm trading. And then one of these kids I knew from college hits me up. I'm not going to say his name out of respect. But he messaged me and he's like, hey, I think you should try this thing that I'm doing, which is like affiliate. And like, we film videos and we put them on Snapchat and I've been making money. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it. So he calls me one day and he breaks it all down to me. He intros me to my first affiliate network, which is A4D.
Nice.
And he's like, we're going to run like EDU campaigns. We're going to run nursing stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, teach me how to do it. So I go to meet one of the girls I knew in my hometown. I'm like, need you to wear scrubs and we're going to film and you're going to talk about this and that. And we did our first campaign, did our first video. Horrible. So he's like, don't worry. The pixel has to learn. You need to do this. You got to try bidding. I'm losing like $3,000 we lost. And I'm like, oh crap, this thing sucks. Like does this make any money, dude? Are you sure? So then he's like, let's try auto insurance. I'm like, okay, let's try auto insurance. I get in my car. And at the time I bought a new car. I love my old car. And I film it. I'm sitting in the driver's seat. I had like $50,000 in cash and I'm holding 50,000. And I'm like, hey guys, like don't burn money. And I'm like pretending to throw the money out the window. Like don't burn money. Like, switch your auto insurance, see how much you can save. I put up the video. First day it runs. I'm like, oh, I made $300. I'm like, whoa, crazy. Second day comes in, 1,000. I'm like, whoa. So then the kid that brought me in the industry is like, we're going to surf the budgets. I didn't know what that meant at the time.
Yeah.
He's helping me. I'm learning everything, putting bids up. We go from $1K a day to $2K a day to $3K a day to $4K a day. I'm like, whoa, like this really does make money. Yeah. It almost felt like not real. Cause I remember I was at a ShopRite, which is what we have in Pennsylvania at the time when I was living there. And I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh my God, we're up $4,000 today. It's like 3 p.m. I'm like, this is crazy. Good feeling. Mind you, I thought it was going to be like this forever because I didn't understand what bans were and ad account problems and da-da-da-da. Like, I didn't know, bro. So I'm doing that. And then eventually we're just running every day and the video is lasting. Like I'm running, mind you, I didn't know what creative burnout was. So it's the same video. It's a true story. It's the same video. And I'm like, I told my parents, I'm like, I'm going to go travel for a bit. It's during COVID. It's 2020 during COVID.
Yeah.
At the end of 2020, I'm like, I'm going to go to Vegas because I feel like it's cheap there. I can get a big house. And me and him, and we brought another kid in. We sat in that house and we figured it out. We were doing auto insurance, life insurance. We started testing everything on the network that any network had to offer. Getting introduced to all the other networks. Long story short, we started doing Snapchat and then I learned Facebook. I had to figure that out. That was a really hard one to figure out. No one really taught me that. I had no idea what I was doing. Literally no idea. There was no guide. I had no workbook. Figuring out Facebook was really tough. And then eventually it became, you have to go to shows. Then I was like, oh, we got to pay for shows and tickets and you meet affiliate managers and how do you get direct? How do you build landing pages? Where do you get a tech? Where do you get media buyers? So it started off as just me doing all of that. Like I was doing my own creative. I was running the ads. I was doing the landing pages on ConvertTree. Like I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
But fast forward to now, that's kind of how I started. And then here we are 4 years later.
Dude, that's really cool, man. Like I didn't know that you were going to be a plastic surgeon. That's pretty rad, man.
And I left med school for it. Yeah,
and now you're in Miami, the
plastic surgery heaven.
Yeah. Right. So dude, okay. That's cool. That first money you made, man, were you like stressed about getting paid or did you just trust your buddy to be like, oh, this is legit. This is going to hit my account?
I was a little stressed. I asked him, I was like, what do we do? Cause I didn't have my credit cards only had a certain limit. Like I signed up with Amex and I was like, how are we going to scale? He's like, don't worry. Like you go to Amex, you request it and they'll move you to whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'll try. So I get the approval and then we can spend up like $100K it was, I think that I had to pay off the balance. So
that's a lot of debt for someone that's like never done this shit before.
I was really scared, scared. So I remember one of the balances was like 87K or something, or 83,000. And he was like, don't worry, when they deposit it, you pay off your card and we go to the next. Man, when you're on those like network terms and they're like, if you don't hit the threshold or when you pass the threshold, you're waiting. And it was like bi-weekly. And I'm like, dude, it's 2 weeks in, like pay me. So eventually hits. I was really stressed. It's scary. I'm like, if I don't get paid, like I'm screwed. I didn't have enough money in the bank account to cover that.
Yeah, no, that's fair, man. Yeah. we've all been there, but that's cool, man. And then the kind of the rest is history. Do I know who you started with? Like, have I met them before?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, interesting.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool,
he
man.
fizzled out years ago.
Okay.
He's into a new industry. I'm not really sure which one, but I know he's not particularly in the same like lead gen
Got it.
side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But something
I
with
mean,
marketing for sure.
oh, that's cool. Very cool,
Yeah.
man. All right. So you had your big run. Have you ever tried that out again recently? Like, do you ever just like throw it up for shits and giggles?
100,000%. What if we were running auto like not even 4 months ago? I was like, guys, these are the first ads I ever going to try them. When I tell you they were awful,
Yeah.
awful. And I was like, all right, guys,
That's
never.
so
They were like,
funny.
this made money. My media buyers didn't believe me. They're like, this made money. I'm like, bro, like you have no
Yeah.
idea.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Okay. So kind of let's break down where you're at now, because you've come a long way. You now have like a full team that's like offshore that just does everything for you. You kind of run the show. You have multiple businesses. Let's kind of like talk about that and where you're at today.
Yeah. So where we're at now essentially is the team is built up, you know, in terms of structure. There's media buyers. We have our own UGC content creators, so actors, if you want to call them, or UGC content creators. We have an English and Spanish team for the media buying side. So it's split up between English and Spanish guys. We have developers in-house, obviously tech. We have operations managers. We have affiliate managers and myself. And then we have our own, obviously, video editors, image editors, copywriters, and there's different departments. So depending on what we run, we have structure in each. So like I was explaining before at your mastermind, we have, you know, a chief media buyer that will oversee 4 media buyers, sometimes only 3. It just depends on what verticals. And I separate each thing in the lead gen side amongst the media buyers. So I'll have an insurance team. I'll have a home services team. I'll have an MBA team, a tort team. They're all very segregated.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of stays in their own lane. So each team or pod, however you want to define them, kind of stays in their own lane. I don't have a media buyer that'll go and run auto insurance and then 10 other verticals. They kind of stay in their lane, develop in that, and keep it growing so that we can keep the consistency in the vertical all year. That's kind of the main reason I keep it that way. And then, yeah, I would say that's about it. Outside of the partnerships, that's pretty much the company structure.
That's pretty cool, because like one thing you kind of didn't mention there, and like this is diving a little bit deeper on things, but you were saying that you basically have team leads and then they can hire whoever they want underneath it and then split out the pay how they want wherever they need. So you're essentially building like, you're basically funding smaller media buying companies within your company, even though it's all under your umbrella, which is really
that's
interesting.
exactly right. That's exactly right. So yeah, that's exactly right.
It's a really interesting concept.
I had exactly what you mentioned is spot on. The idea I had was, if I was the bank and they just needed the funding and I can provide resources and offers that they can get elsewhere, and I can provide them a salary or percentage of profit enough to where they're comfortable and not wanting to leave, then we'll build an army. And that's kind of my idea. And I did that. So it was exactly what you said. The media buyers will have chief media buyers will have their main underneath, and then the underneaths will have their own assistants.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, let's say one guy and he watches 4, and that one of the 4 has 2 under him. And then the other one may have 1 under him. And the other one may have 3 under him. And they watch these campaigns on these platforms. Did we advertise on most of the platforms? So one guy as an assistant underneath one of the main media buyers may watch, you know, Google, or may watch TikTok, or may watch Snapchat. And then the other assistants may watch Hulu, may watch Pinterest, may watch other things like that. Yeah. So it's just very, very segregated and separated in that sense. And I love it. It's the teamwork and the dynamic is great. The biggest thing with us though is really understanding how we're all a unit, and we're all very united within what the company vision I talked about at your event. The company vision is really important to me, and I want everyone aligned. I want everyone to feel like they're winning. And the biggest thing I have with the company is no one ever works for me; they all work with me, and that's something that I really preach. So that's kind of the main focus. I don't want them to ever feel like they're working for me. We work together. We're a team. Yeah,
that's a great position too, right? Because they feel like they're part of something. Instead of just like do what the fuck I say, which doesn't really get you very far in this world, especially when there's so much opportunity for people these days. You have to really want to make them want to stay there, right? Like company dynamics are huge. So a question on that, and this is just something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. So maybe you can kind of like help me and help people
Yeah.
listening on this. Let's say you're bringing a new offer, right? Like, let's say you got like a new niche. You're like, I've heard this is working. I don't know if it's working, but we need to test it. So
Yeah.
do you allocate specific testing budgets to one of those team members? Be like, hey guys, like you can go in the whole like 5K on this. We just need to figure out if it works, or you just kind of like force them to be like, hey, you got to do this.
This is a new niche that we've never tested.
Yeah.
Yeah. So typically, this is very, it's good you brought this up. We tested something in the tort space, and there's a tort offer, and I'm not big in tort by any means.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to learn. I don't know what I don't know. So we were offered a cool tort offer, and it was brought to us, and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. So it's not that I allocate testing budget. Over time, the media buying teams understand what a significant loss is compared to a minor loss, right? If he's like, oh, I tested it with $200, I'm going to be like, I shouldn't have to tell him, hey, test more.
Yeah.
At the stage we're at now, he knows, okay, I burned $1,000. Okay, $1,000 is a lot to burn on a few creatives. Let's change that up. But I don't let the loss go past, to be honest, for me to be comfortable, 2K. I think after 2K, we spend a little too much. And that obviously is in tandem with the CPA. Let's say the CPA is $100 payout. 2K, we should figure it out by now, or at least get a lead. We got a problem here.
Yeah.
You know, if the CPA is like 400, we can push to like maybe 5K-ish. But if the CPA is super low, it's just in relative. I'm keeping it relative to what the CPA would be. But the media buying team typically focuses on, okay, if we know this video style works for auto, this video style works for solar, we typically try the video styles for each niche, all of them on that new offer. And if it doesn't work on the new offer, then that's where we got to get creative. But more oftentimes than not, you'll find what works in something else will work in the other one, as long as you keep a script, obviously in tandem with the offer. That's kind of how we go about doing it. So if we have an auto insurance style of video and the intro is this type of intro and the middle is this type of middle and the end is this type of end, we'll apply that to the new offer being the tort one. And if it doesn't work, we then go, okay, what works for home services? Okay, let's try that. Maybe let's take this piece from auto that worked really good and this piece for, home services that work good. And we'll try it together for the, the tort offer. And that's kind of how we play with it and we just keep testing and figuring it out. And our video editors honestly are one of the most crucial parts of our team. I think they're very, overlooked. I think video editors are everything, because you can have a video editor that makes 50 creatives with B-roll in this and an intro, and none of them will work. And you can have one that will change minute things in each of the 50 videos. And you're like, whoa, 20 of these 50 videos are banging. So the video editors really need that attention. You got to sit with them and be like, okay, you see how this one did good? We need it like that. And you got to train them. That's, I think, the biggest part too.
It's interesting you say that, because I literally just had a call with one of my media buyers this morning, and I'm like, we're great at mass producing shit. And he's just like, but I don't know the play, because like, let's say we crank out like 50 videos. He's like, maybe one of those will hit. And it's like, it's almost a waste of everyone's time at this point. So I was like, well, we need to really dial in the structure and how it works. Right now we use a service that can crank out videos, but we notice the quality is not that great. We do have one in-house guy that we're going to try and work with a little bit more on stuff. But then I was like, so I used to have a media buyer his name was Brandon, and he originally came to me as an editor. And he was a decent media buyer. He still is, but he's a better editor. But because he's a good editor first, and then he's a media buyer and understands our niches, like the dude can just make crazy freaking videos.
That's a really cool thing. That's really cool.
Right. But I'm like, how is that replicatable? Like that's quite challenging to reproduce. Right. So anyway, we were just really talking about this, and I was like, I think we need to really just work on honing in the process with the editors and just really make sure they understand what they're selling and how we're selling it, like full circle, instead of just being like, hey, can you slap together some B-roll and like these 5 bucks on this?
100%. You got to get a good video editor. I mean, the way I got mine was, I learned a lot from, Blake, and shout out Blake. He's amazing. Yeah. He explained, I went on Upwork and I got a couple of people. I know Upwork's like got its own rep or whatever. I messaged all of them and I was like, look, I need videos like this. So what I'll do, and what he kind of told me that helped a lot, was I'll send them 5 videos and I'm like, replicate these 5 videos and make them as similar as you can. And I send it to 5 video editors, and whoever sends me the best looking ones to what I want, I'll grab them I'll put them into my chats and I'll be like, look, we're going to go through a series of, tests here. Make this video. Can you make this video? Can you make this video? And once they pass those, then I get on more calls with them and I'm like, okay, we need to replicate this. I just keep training them. Okay, move this part. No, this looks too stockish. Add this. I need this to look like that. I just keep changing. And then eventually they know exactly what I want because I'm very particular in what I want. So I just make it very clear to them. You have to be very clear because if you give them almost too much free range, then it's going to be a million edits. So I kind of sit call after call after call. It might take 10 calls, 20 calls. Eventually they know exactly the style I like. And then those are your winners. And you just need 2 very good editors. And I think that's enough. I mean, some people have more than that. I think 2 for us is enough.
That's interesting that you actually dive in that deep with them because like we've never gone that deep, right? Like we generally hire people that know what they're doing in the space and have run like either e-com before edited e-com ads before or affiliate stuff, or we get referrals from people. And so like on paper, they're pretty good. And I'm like, oh yeah, this ad looks good, but we've never actually dove in deep with them and give them hardcore feedback like that. Obviously we give them re-edits and shit like that, but like actually sitting on a call and going step by step is a great call on that.
Have to. Yeah. It's changed everything.
Yeah. Cause like you say, man, like they kind of just like do what they're told and that's the end of the task, So
yeah. And then pay them well too. I don't think a lot of video editors are paid well. I mean, the ones that have come to me and I've talked to are paid fairly. I pay my guys really fairly. Yeah. So they're very happy. Like, I mean, I have guys who crank out. I mean, they're managing so many media buyers. I've one that, for example, let's say 3 media buying teams may really love to go to. Yeah. And, she'll do, I don't know, 100 videos a week, 150 videos a week. That's a lot on her. To the videos, they're like sometimes over a minute and a half. That's a lot. It's a lot of editing. So, but she loves it. Every day she's telling me she's grateful. Thank you for the opportunities. And just as long as you pay them well, people are going to be happy to work. And as long as you give more opportunity to make more money, I think people will kind of,
Are you finding that it takes about like 100 a week to find good ads, or like how does that sort of break down for you? Because we're always trying to find the magic number. I was like, do we have to do 200? Do we have to do like just 10 good ones? And I mean good in terms of like really diving in and like editing them and making sure that they're like on point instead of just like throwing mud against the wall at like 100 different creatives and just hoping one hits, what's kind of like
it depends. It depends on the scripts. How many scripts would you be putting? Let's say you do 100 videos. How many of those 100 videos are different scripts?
Man, let's call it like 30, 40.
Yeah, that's a lot. So you would say like, let's say if you did 50 scripts, it'd be 2 of each video kind of idea like that. Or would it be like,
generally.
Okay. Yeah. So the way that we do it is like, let's just use auto insurance, for example, because it's a staple, right? A lot of people run it. If we're going to run an auto insurance campaign, and this is a campaign that has been profitable for us and we're looking for different styles, obviously the first thing we're doing is taking the winning video, recreating more scenes like that, very similar videos like that. And let's say we make, 20, let's say we have a winning video, I'll do about 25. I make 25 videos of the winning. And let's say we test all of them. Let's say scenario 1, 5 of them work. Cool. We keep doing that 25, or however, sometimes it's just 10 until 10 don't work anymore. Okay, let's do 25 didn't work, 30 didn't work. Okay, now that script is dead. Let's go on. So if that's scenario 1. Once it burned down from the winner, okay, that's done. Cost is too high, ROI is super low. That's another factor. If the videos are working, but the ROI is dropped from like, let's say you're at 50 or 60% to 15%, it's shot, we're done. Yeah. The second scenario is, let's say we made 40 videos off the winner and none held. Okay. Immediately, first thing we're doing is 10 new scripts and then 2 videos per script. But the videos per script are entirely different. So script 1 to script 2 are 2 different scripts, but the videos within the scripts are completely different style videos, like different B-roll, like not even remotely the same, the same, like different intro, different end. Sometimes at the end, we might throw in like, if you see on YouTube, the spinning wheel 10, 9, 8, and then I'll put words, we'll try that. Different things like that, more YouTube-y style on Facebook or TikTok-y style on Facebook between the 2 videos. So let's say we have those 10, more oftentimes than not, one will show promise. Then we take that one, let's say one of them, worst case scenario was, it worked. We got leads, broke even, a little bit of profit. We'll take it and then we'll see why it did well and what we think might have made it do well. And then I'll immediately make another 10 videos just of each other script. Each other style video. So same script, but 10 videos of each style video that did well. Then test them both separately. And let's say for the one style video, 0 did good, and the other one 5 did good. We have our new style of video and script that are working. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 100%.
Now I kind of have an idea. And then I repeat that cycle like I told you.
Just process of elimination, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a ChatGPT guy though. Everyone leverages it. If I'm being honest with you, we typically write our own scripts.
Oh, you write all your own scripts, eh?
Yeah. ChatGPT, like I'll put it in ChatGPT to be like fix grammar or make it more persuasive, but I'll never say, write me a script. We type them all ourselves.
Yeah. So I've kind of been like leaning into that a little bit more, man. And like, I found that like I write my first script and then I'll like drop it into like Claude. And I just found this, this tool. It's probably like old school, but it's basically just viral intro hooks on ChatGPT. And dude, it bangs out some really cool hooks. So we've been using that quite a bit lately. Been quite helpful. So, yeah, man, I'm kind of leaning into it a little bit more, in terms of like just seeing if, we can get some AI stuff to crank, because dude, it's so fast, right? But I do think it needs some human input out of the
touches.
Gate, you know?
Yeah, it needs touches. It's good for ad copy. It's good for ad copy. Very good for ad copy.
Yeah. One thing that someone told me that was interesting too is like, and I haven't tested this yet, but you can tell it to write in a specific like person style, like, you know, like Frank Kern or something like that. You can be like, hey, write this like Frank Kern would. And full clarification, I'm like a kind of a noob to this AI shit. Like I haven't dug into it, but like I thought that was pretty cool, because I was like, okay, well now I'm taking like 5 of the best copywriters ever, telling them to rewrite it exactly like this, and it's completely different, man. It's really
nuts,
cool.
yeah. And you can even do like, one of the things that I've done is for my ad copies. I don't know if maybe this might be noobish, but I don't know if somebody will gain insight from it. I'll take the ad copy and I'll say, take the 5 most persuasive books and take the teachings from those books and apply it to this ad copy to entice consumers to want to click on it more. And then I'll click it and I'll do 10 more. I'll be like, okay, make it more enticing, less gimmicky. And I'll just keep playing with it till I get 10 I like, and we'll test those ad copies. Yeah,
that's smart, man. And dude, like this whole process takes like an hour max, you know, like it's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. And you get a bunch of stuff. Like you can get like 30, 40 ad copies, 20 headlines, and like, it's really difficult having it to write like video scripts. We tried it in the past. It does like the whole like narrator, and then it does like scene cut. And I'm just like, this doesn't work. Like we got to write our own stuff. This is nuts.
One thing that we did yesterday is like, do you know when you drop a video into like Slack and it gives you all the like the timestamps of like what the script is?
Yeah.
So I basically just took that with the timestamps, moved it over with everything, and be like, hey, can you like rewrite this in like a few different versions with like similar flow at the timestamps? And it worked quite well, actually.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
I did it by accident.
Slack's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to Slack. This is the best. Listen, Skype's going away. If you're not using Slack, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. We just switched in the last like 2 weeks, man.
You'll get used to it. I've been using it for a very long time. The organization on it is next level. It's next level.
I'm now kind of getting annoyed with like Skype. So I'm just like, bro, let's just get
I'm
off
telling
there.
you.
Like we're done.
Yeah.
Like let's move on.
Horrible. Horrible.
So since we're on the path of like just like testing and creative and everything like that, so like, what's sort of your testing strategy when it comes to that stuff? Are you doing like mass CBOs like most people are doing?
Yeah. No, I'll explain that. So like, it depends. What I've noticed, and like, man, I remember back in the day early on, when I was talking to Jordan about this, he was telling me he used to do like this whole shotgun method. And, do you know what I'm talking about? And he would explain that. And I'm like,
that's Tim Bird. That's Tim Bird.
Yeah. Oh, is that who it is? Okay. Cause I remember Jordan was telling me about it. And I mean, I was like, what? I was like, the style that I ran in back in the day was, dude, if you were running a refi offer, if you're running an auto offer, solar offer, whatever, you got one winning ad. I'm duping out 80 of those ads, and I'm sitting there in front of my computer. I'm cutting the losers, refreshing every 15 minutes. I'm cutting losers. Yeah, that's what worked. Turning on ads every day for me rarely worked. They would spend too fast. CPAs would never hold. It wouldn't learn. And I know that's an e-com strategy to let the CBO kind of grow and learn. For lead gen, anyone that does that, kudos to you. That is the worst method I've ever tested in my life. It never works. So what we do now is, let's say it's a new offer, depending on the CPA, let's just say it's a $20 CPA. Budgets will be fairly low. We'll say $300 to $500 per ad set. And I just test one campaign. And if I'm testing 10 different videos, it's 10 different ad sets, all which all with the new videos. And this is something I do. Others may not. I test the same ad copy that I think is the best one in all the videos. I don't change the ad copy.
Yeah.
I don't think ad copy is as important as people think. No, on video, it's absolutely not. I've read videos before with no ad copy, just tap below, see for yourself, random stuff. And it's performed significantly better than see if you can claim lower, blah, 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 blah. Like it's just, it doesn't, I think the merit, people hold too much merit on like, oh, my ad copy was killer. No, like if it's a video, like no one's, when have you ever watched a good, if you're watching like an Instagram reel of someone that's promoting a product or a course or something, I don't think I've ever, unless I really wanted to know, click the like see more to read the caption pop up and cover the video. I'm just watching the video and then I'll go to his page and I'll check what his page is about. No one's doing that. I mean, for me, I'm not. But when it comes to images, I think the ad copy is everything. Everything. But yeah, that's typically the style. So one campaign, 10 ad sets, 10 videos or images, the same ad copy in each. Broad, I don't target anything. I don't do any interests. It's really just all broad, all placement. One of the things I do really like to do, and I mean, I'm sure people do this already, but this is basic knowledge. If I find a winner within those 10, obviously before I talk about the scaling strategy, I'll take that out and then I'll set up a new campaign and I'll call it just feed only. And then I'll make a new campaign and call it reels only. So that campaign will be 10 assets of the winning thing. And the only thing I'm changing is making it Facebook feed only. And the next campaign is Instagram reels only. That's the only thing I'm changing after I take the winner out. I test that because those are the two best placements in my opinion. And then let's say I'm back into the first campaign with the winning stuff. From there, I'll take it out. We'll duplicate a ton of them, raise the budget by 20% every day till we find a threshold that diminishes our ROI, keep it there and just keep duping campaigns. And then we dupe the campaigns daily. I don't turn on. That's really our strategy. That's all we do.
Interesting. How many dupes are you doing? Like how many like campaign dupes are you doing?
Oh, like the campaign of the winning ad? I don't, none. I stay within the winning campaign and I dupe within it the winning ad and I stay with it.
Oh, got it. Got it. So you're doing the ad set level or the ad level?
Ad set level.
Got it.
So let's say I have a winning ad set.
Is this a CBO or is it ad set budget?
No, it's all ABO budgets. Oh, yeah, that's why I'm duping every day. Yeah, I don't.
So you're still doing it like, you're still doing it kind of old school style.
Still old school style, but I'll tell you the new school stuff that we do within it. So outside of the stuff that I explained where we do reels and feed, which would be like for me, newer school, like test, because I love those placements. Typically you'll find a winner there and we'll just run it up there. So what I notice is this, let's say I have 3 campaigns and I have the original CBO, which we have the winning ad, all placements, and I have reels and feed. Let's say all of them are winning, right? Great. This campaign's great. I'll then make a CBO of the winning ad. Okay. Cause I already know let's say it's 1 or 2 winning ads, right? Let's say it's 2. I'll do 5 and 5 in the CBO. So 5 of those ad sets, 5 of these ad sets, right? And what I'll do is I'll have the campaign budget to match what it is in ad set level. So let's say it was $300 per ad set and there's 10 ads. I'll make the CBO budget $3,000, right?
Interesting.
To make it, because technically it'd be 300 per each. And I'll put the minimum bid on each ad set to what the CPA, double the CPA. So let's say I'm getting paid 20. The minimum ad spend per each ad set is 40 now. Because I hate CBOs when they all spend a 1, you know what I mean? So I personally
100%,
put the minimum spend. Yeah, I personally do minimum spend. And then from there, let's say the CBO is working. It's the same thing I explained. 20% every single day, increase the budget until it diminishes ROI. Then we find the winners from that. And let's say the CBO did great. Now we have 4 campaigns winning. Then I'll do 2 more CBOs. Same exact thing with the ABO levels, feed and reels only. Same exact thing and repeat that cycle. And that's kind of the method we stay in. And then we cruise, right? Like, let's say we have a cap to fill every day. We're not pushed on our cap yet. You know, we cruise. We see because now we have 6 campaigns, right? So whichever ones are doing the best per day, we focus on ROI always. So let's say ABO's killed it today. They might not tomorrow. CBO's killed it today. Great. I'm all about ROI. I'm not really, a lot of guys in this industry are really focused on revenue, being doing whatever $100 million a year, whatever they focus on, 200 million a year. I'm very ROI focused, very, very, very ROI focused. That's our number one thing. I'm not going to spend
like
100 grand to make 5. A lot of people aren't.
Yeah. Every other number is kind of a lie, like it's
I factor in a lot of stuff, man. Like you got to understand if you're doing 100K a day and you're making 5K profit, You got to pay your guys, the video editors, expenses, all the other, monthly subscriptions that you have. And that adds up. So we're ROI focused 100%.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, man. That's cool. Very cool, man. Thanks for like that entire fucking rundown of the setup, bro.
Hopefully that explains. But yeah, it's not like anything scientific. Some guys have this like, dude, like I remember one guy was talking to me, this was nuts. He was talking to me and he was like, this is not long ago at a conference. He was like 1 CVO, 10 ad sets, 5 ads in each, 5 different ad copies in each. They each have 5 images. I'm like, dude, that's way too much. Like, and then we have guys that are, in my opinion, that was nuts. He's like, it works for me. I'm like, great. To each their own. Like, I don't know what I don't know. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. So the interesting thing I find is you have those guys who are diehard on the Facebook algorithm. They're like, oh, but Facebook likes this. Facebook likes that. And I'm like, dude, I've heard this for so many years about what Facebook likes. I don't even think Facebook knows what it likes.
So you know what's interesting, man, is like everyone's kind of on the big CBO thing right now, just dumping everything into a CBO, letting it kind of optimize.
Facebook take.
With bid cap and stuff like that. And that does work for a lot of people. But what I say time and time again, man, is it really just comes down to creative. Like if you put 100% creative into Facebook, it's going to convert for you. You're going to be able to scale it. You're going to be able to push it. And like, if you have a really, really good creative, you can almost do no harm to it. Throwing budget at it or duping it out or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's very true.
If that's good, if it's that good, you can't.
You're very right.
You can't fuck it up.
Very right.
People kind of focus on method too much and less creative, just like, this work.
Pump out the creative. Yeah. And big caps for me are interesting. I don't do any big caps.
I like them, man. I like them. I've been kind of messing with
some people really do. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know.
But I still associate with like how you run, man. Like that is like, that is what I grew up with.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that's the thing. Like, look what you said. You said you do the bid caps now. I mean, like we want to explore that. But like I said, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to expand and test the bid caps. Maybe you can get our ROI even better. Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't test. I've tested it in the past. I know we do bid caps on other platforms, whereas like Meta, not as much. I know that's like, I had a guy also talk to me at an event and he was like, okay, you're going to do 40% over CPA, 40% below. And then you're going to do, add $7 or $10 to each and test that. And I'm like, dude, this is so much stuff. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Is this even real? Or are you just telling me something? You know what I mean? And I'm like, you're trying to screw me up or help me?
You should do a call with Griff, man. Like he's doing pretty good on bid cap right now. And he's
he's a bid cap god. I love that. I love Griff. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
He's
awesome
great.
Guy.
He's great.
Awesome, man.
I mean, yeah.
So one thing I also wanted to dive in, man, is like I would say your growth in the last like 12 months has really sort of like, I don't know, doubled.
Yeah.
What do you kind of associate that to? Because I feel that like we all come to this space. We're making good money. We think we're making good money, and then we want more, right? But a lot of us don't really know like where to go next and how to achieve that.
Yeah.
So what did you find was the biggest transition for you of taking your business to sort of the next level and growing?
For sure. So, one of my business partners, he's much older than me, super wise. I talked to him about a lot of things, almost like a therapist, right? And, he explained things to me in a way where I was super stressed out. I think we all are. And I sat down with him and I was like, look, I'm trying to do this. I feel like I know how to do it, but I don't for sure know how to do it. And I kind of need like a little bit of, not necessarily just guidance, but, tell me what you think and then tell me why you think I think the way I think, if that makes sense. Like, why do I think this is right? And why would you think this is right? I want to know. I like to know how other people think. I think that's important in business. So he sits me down, we talk, and the basic understanding of it all was like, I'm not building the right systems.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not building the right systems. Like, you need to learn how to build the correct systems so that your skill set is used in the right parts of your business. So we sat down and we were like talking, and he's like, okay, where do you think your skill set is? So I told him, I was like, I think it's this, I think it's that. And he's like, well, I see it as this. And he explains it to me, and we sit down and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So I take a look at my business and I'm like, I have this many people. Do I need more people, or do I need to run lean and mean? Or do I need to, like, if I build a system, does that mean more people, more salaries? Do I need to start doing this and that? So what really took me to the next level was understanding if I want to do X, Y, Z, learning how to build the system in X, Y, and Z. So for me, the biggest bottleneck I ran into was I want to scale more offers at once.
Yeah.
And I need more guys that are willing to test the way I want to test. And I need better content creation team. And I need a better operations, and I need organization. Organization, I think, will kill a business if you don't have it. Kill it. So the first thing I did was, okay, I was like, let's get organized. And when I mean organized, I mean very organized. I have every ad account. So I'm a big Asana guy. I love Asana. Monday.com, get people use Notion. I have SOPs for everything you can imagine. I have everybody's ad account labeled with, you know, the name, the ID, which credit card's being used there, how much. And then I have, you know, let's say a creative folder for each media buyer. I have what we tested for each media buyer. I have, if I can, I mean, I can even look and explain. I have, you know, basically taken every offer that we've ever ran. We have notes on every offer. Is it still active? Is it not active? You know, having the perspective of affiliate managers give us notes, take that back in. Okay, why does a media buyer think it's bad? Go, let's figure it out. Let's talk to them. Put those notes into the Asana. I have every offer we've ever ran. We have a performance tab, which I really like, and it shows performance. And then I have categories that say ready to scale, needs improvement, break even, at a loss, and then a need to pause. And then let's say he put need to pause. I'll put something in there where he'll write the date he paused it. So he'll pause the offer. He'll put the date he paused it and why he paused it. And then it updates me in the performance tab. And then we do a performance review at the end of each day. And I'll look at what had to pause. Let's say we're running an offer for 3 weeks. He had to pause. Why? Let's go back. Let's figure it out. My operations guy, Josh, let's go talk to them, to the affiliate manager, talk to the direct buyer. What can we do? Got it. Let's test this new rev share link. Anything we can do to keep performance where it needs to be. So organization in terms of each media buyer having a very clear cut road. I have a person, then I had another. So that was number one, organization and for all the accounts, credit cards, how much we're spending, communication to the buyers and direct and affiliate managers. Because I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to keep talking every day. Like I can't sit here and talk on Skype all day. That's not where my resources.
It's so time consuming.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that was number one, like figuring out organization. And then I within the organization, for example, let's say we get a new offer. We got to set it up on RedTrack. We got to do the tracking, do the test link, do the post back. I don't want to do all that. Hired a person to do that. So now let's say we get a new offer on the Slack, right? It's literally called tech for each group chat or setup. They'll drop the link, the Asana. So Josh, my operations guy, will go on Asana, put the new offer, put what network it's from or what buyer it's from, put the cap, put the link, put the posting instructions. The person that does all the new offer setup will go and take it, set it all up, notify the team member, hey, you're set up. Here's your link. Go to test. So the only thing I want the media buyers to do is test the offer. Get the creatives, test the offer. My setup guy, even with paper call, same thing. Set it up. What's the RTB? What's the cap? Do the integration. Go talk to their tech. Set up a meeting with their tech. I don't want to be a part of it. That's not my job.
Yeah.
I hired someone. Go do that. Go do the setup. Go do the tech. I don't need to know how the setup is. I just need to know you tested it. If it's good or bad, that's it.
Yeah.
So that part, like getting rid of the small bottlenecks that I don't need, like that are time consuming. Because if I get 10 new offers, for me to go and set them up and get new domains, RedTrack, do the lander, it's going to take me hours. That's a waste of time. And then let's say all the offers were shit. I just burned 3 days for nothing. Getting a good developer who just makes landing pages. That's only his job. You make 30 landing pages a day. You test 30 on one offer. You make this media buyer 10. You have this guy 10. You make that guy 10. So he'll go and create a bunch of landing pages for each media buyer. I have 3 guys that do this. So, because obviously it's a lot of landing pages that need to be made.
Yeah.
They have the same process. It's a Asana as well. It outlines everything. It outlines all the domains each media buyer is using. It outlines what offers they're using it for. It outlines every aspect you can imagine is on the Asana. So then
that's amazing.
He'll go and make the links. Let's say he made 10 landing pages for auto. He'll assign them to the media buyer. They get a notification. They go to Asana. They grab their landing pages links. It has, and the person that does the offer setup automatically added the offer link onto the landing page and integrated it to RedTrack. So they don't got to worry about that. They just go and test. Done.
Dude.
RedTrack fires back. It's easy. So like
That's
just
insane.
getting those in place is so important because it frees up my time. All I look at now is performance stats and what happened between the offer or with the offers and how can I step in and be like, okay, this was great for 3 weeks. They went to shit. Why? Okay, let's step in. Let's try this. I give my expertise and my 2 cents. Okay, great. It didn't work. We go back to the drawing board. It did work. Scale it back up. We're good. On to the next. I don't want to put too much time on it if I don't have to. So organization was one. Delegating was a second. Like, I don't want to do all those tasks anymore. I shouldn't. I used to do in the past. Waste of time, man. I can pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
You know, third thing after that, the biggest thing for me, man, was Josh, man. I love this dude, and shout out to Josh, managing the chats with the buyers every day. Yeah. I'm not doing it. I don't do it. I rarely talk in them. You got to think like you're running, let's say you're running 8 offers. Okay.
Yeah.
8 different offers, auto. How many different auto offers am I now running? 10. How many different Windows offers? 10. That's like 50, 60 chats a day. He's doing all of it. So now I have Josh who's going in and doing, okay, he's talking to this buyer. Okay, we got a new link. We have to pause, add this in, remove this state. He's going back to the media buying team that's running it. You guys got to remove the state, da-da-da. And of course, it's updated on the Asana. They get a notification. Yeah. This thing was, you know what I mean? It's all systematized now. So
what's his like role title? Like
operations manager.
Got it. And how much, like, if you don't mind me asking, like, how much do you pay someone like that? And you can give a range if you don't want to say his exact salary. But...
Yeah, I can give a range. I don't know if he wants to know. You can say like 6 figures.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So was that like a big like risk for you to kind of jump on and like hire someone like
100%, 100%. Yeah. But I mean, like, so Josh is one of my closest friends. Actually, we actually went to college together. I've known him for about 11 years.
Amazing.
And he's very organized. He's very good at understanding roles and positions, and he knows how to talk to people, and he's very personable. And I'm a big believer on trust. Trust is my number one thing in anything, in relationships, in business, and life. And I trust him with everything. This guy wouldn't hurt a fly. He would never steal from me. I love him. He's like a brother to me. So I taught him everything. I was like, look, this is how we talk to buyers. This is how you communicate this way. This is how you use the Asana. You talk to the developers. You have full range. Basically took over what I would do every day. Yeah. And he's killing it. So that's what I labeled him, as the operations manager. And don't get me wrong, he's stressed out every day. I remember like the first weekend I call him, and he goes, every time we were on calls and you said you had to go and you had problems, he goes, I never understood it. And he goes, holy shit, I'm sorry. This is the craziest shit I ever dealt with in my life. I've never seen hecticness like this in my life. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, so the other day he walks his dog. This is a true story. I'm like, did you add a thing to Asana? I'm very big on organization. Like I said, everything has to be on Asana. Yeah. Everything. Because if it's not, we spend $1 million. I don't know where we spent the $1 million. I need to know.
Yeah.
So, he goes, I just got back to my desk. I was walking my dog. There's 49 or like 48 messages. He's like, give me a second. He's like, give me a second. I got to he's big into notes. So we're big into organization. He's writing down the notes. He does physical notes. Cause I think these are the best things in the world. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh yeah.
Yellow line paper till I die, man. Till I die. Write it down.
I got something like that here too, dude. Like it just like a
you have to
fucking pad.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Yeah. And then I'm big on sticky notes. They're all around my desk. Yeah. I have a whiteboard next to my desk.
I have to write shit down. Everyone's like, oh, you should use the software. I was like, dude, it'll go in one ear out the other. Like I'm
not going to go like, if I need to write it down quick, I'm not going to go in the software and start typing. I'm writing it down with pen and paper. Yeah. But, so he was the third component. So it was really just organization on Asana, the person to do the small tedious tasks of talking to developers and lantern creators. Josh is the operations manager. And then the fourth and final thing that I think that really propelled it was not just trying to make money, trying to understand why we're trying to work with these people. Let's say you get, this offer's hot, test it, it's blowing up, everyone's running it. Take a step back.
Yeah.
Let's see what she said. Let's do some research on our side, and let's see if we have the physical capability, or the not the physical, but the capacity right now to take this on. I don't. A lot of people will take on 1 million offers. I'm very big on making sure my team isn't overwhelmed and they stay in their lanes and they're good. Because in the past, what would happen as a solo affiliate, you hear that, you get shiny object syndrome. I'm jumping on it, right? Loans is hot, we're running loans. Solar's hot, we're running solar. No, I stopped doing that. I took a step back and I'm like, this is what we run all year. And then when we go to test new stuff, we take the time to do it the right way. And if we don't want to do it, it doesn't work for us, we go on to the next thing. I don't like to waste time. I'm very, very big on not wasting time. So not just working with everybody. Not all money is good money. As I said, at your mastermind, I think that's really important. Not all money is good money. I think a lot of people in this industry, as you know, may not be the most trustworthy or the most truthful. And it's super upsetting. It's really upsetting. And I've sure you've seen people, friends that, you know, you've lost or you've seen kind of go down the wrong path. And I think the way that people carry themselves in how they want to do business and outside of business are very, some people don't think, some people, you've been to the shows, people act crazy at shows, but they're very good businessmen. Good for them. Yeah. I honestly don't know how they operate like that. That's not me. I'm very linear. I've always been very linear and transparent. So the fourth thing was understanding who we want to work with. I think that's the biggest thing that really propelled it. And how do I get out of the perpetual, you know, hamster wheel, I guess you can call it, of just running offers every single day and dealing with the same problem that each offer brings. Because eventually what we're just doing is diversifying in the same headache. No, it's just the same headache.
100%.
And you're taking it and stretching it thinner so that the headache was like this high and now the headache's like this low. And then eventually the headache that's this low will go again higher. And it's just going to keep doing this until you get so wide you're like, my head's going to explode. Yeah. So we really focus in on what the fourth part that I'm going to explain to you now is making the offer a little bit more exclusive to us.
Yeah.
And in the sense of get deals. And, you know, and I give a lot of credit to years ago, Anthony Sarandrea, if you know who that is.
Yep.
Very big guy in the industry. He gave, I remember he gave a little bit of a speech about this or a talk saying like, become exclusive become so valuable to the person you have an exclusive deal with them to where you're getting paid something nobody else can. So that even if they do rip you, you're not playing the same game. And that's all I've been focusing on with the new ventures we get into. It's like, hey, if I prove this, I want this. Okay. Yeah. And then we're transparent about numbers you make and numbers I make. So we're both making money, but at least we know, and we're not playing this game of, hey, it was break even today when it was killing it. Hey, RPC was bad when it was killing it. Because I'm not, that's just the same headache, as I explained, getting way bigger. For me, it was more so like, let's be transparent. You made money, I made money. Cool. I'll take a little bit less, but you need to give me more here.
Yeah.
You can take a little bit more, but I need to, you know, I need more here. So just being more transparent with buyers and direct buyers and being like, hey, let's make millions together and more transparent and run it all year and not do this game of back and forth. So we each have a little bit of a run up. And then it's always a, hey, how you been? Long time. You ever ran an offer? We got some new stuff for you. I don't want that. I want it to run as if we're consistently growing with the same people, as if it's almost like a media buying agency. Some people would call it, like, say, like, you're growing their brand. I want to grow their brand with you, but I want to be a part of it. Yeah. So that was like the four things.
You're basically working with them and not just thinking about yourself 24/7, which is nice. Cause I think that, dude, like full transparency, our top offers are ones that are just like, we've been continuously running forever and working with the people and we have a direct deal on them and stuff.
100%.
And I wouldn't say that the offer performs the best all the time, but I think that there's more communication and working with it. Like, let's say, for example, and like, I don't know if anyone's ever run Smart Financial, but dude, they're fucking terrible. Like if you if you start like screwing up or if your traffic goes to shit one day, they're just like, you're fucking paused and that's it.
Yeah.
And like, this happens to everybody and they don't try and work with you versus like someone like Lilia over lead economy, right? Like she'll be like, hey, like just let you know, I'm at a massive loss on you guys right now. But like, if you can do this and give us some tweaks here and so on and so forth, it's going to be way better. And that's why Lilia continually gets people to work with her.
That's why you win. That's where you win.
Yeah. Right. So it's just like, shout out to Lilia on that.
I think the point, like, I want to touch on what you said too, because I think it's really important. I think, one of the things I dealt with on the call side, look, there's a lot of us that run calls and a lot of us that run leads. And one of the things I'll tell buyers is this, I go, this is our price. This is another thing too, by the way, to add on to the fourth thing, which I forgot to mention. I don't just take any price. A lot of guys can get, like, for example, there's a Medicare guy and he was like, I'll pay you $12 a call, $14 a call. I said, it's great. Good for you. Yeah. He's like, I said, no, I said, that's not going to work for me. He goes, I got guys sending me 500 calls a day that I pay $12 to. They get like almost like offended that you say no. And I said, that's amazing. You should buy more from them. That's not for me. They're in my opinion, that's ruining the industry. Yeah. My calls are worth this amount of money because they're consumer initiated inbound calls. They're fully compliant. They're on Google. They're, you know, you guys want these very good calls, but you want to pay shit for them. Yeah. The same thing with leads. They want to pay shit for leads. And then like, there was a funny saying I remember back in the day and it was, if you pay me shit, I'm going to run shit. Yeah. So it's like, you want very good leads, but you don't want to pay good dollars for them. So I don't like working with people like that. Everyone I work with is very much so transparent. And for example, there's a guy I worked with on auto insurance software, true story. And I don't know if you want me to say his name, but he was running me. He's like, look, I'm going to be transparent with you, Kareem. I'll pay you this much on the CPL. I'm going to lose money on every lead. And I said, I love that you're transparent. I don't want you to lose a lot of money. Let me know the minute you need to drop us, and I'll tell you where my profit margins are at. So we're running. And then after like 2 weeks of burning money, we hit a day where like, okay, lower us down to, let's say it was at $15, lower us down to 12. Let's see how it works. He goes, I can be profitable there. Then I'm like, okay, my margins aren't that bad. Let's see if it works. Then he moves some stuff in the back and he's like, okay, we're good. So that's how it grew. He's willing to lose. And I'm like, look, the fact that you're willing to do that, I'm not going to give up on your campaign. And to this day, it's running smoothly.
Yeah, I 100% agree, man. And that's how
that's where you win.
Relationships are made. And that's like how these those are the networks that last, right? Like, and those are the people that'll be like, get the most referrals. They're going to get, people are going to bend over backwards for him because it's a two-way street. It's not just like, hey, run my fucking
100%. Offer. You're exactly right. And I brought him a lot of stuff. I'm like, hey, talk to my email guy. Hey, talk to this guy that runs radio or TV. I don't really do a lot of that stuff like that,
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Okay, so final question here. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years from here? Are you doing all this just to build a massive company that runs itself and you haven't really figured out where it goes? Or do you have like a long-term sort of plan on like, hey, this is where I want to end up. I'm going to just use this this money to build something way bigger?
Yeah, so I'm happy you asked that. I remember at your mastermind 2 years ago, we talked about this. And, if I'm being transparent, 2 years ago, I didn't really have the right idea. Like I thought I knew. And, thank God for my one business partner on another project. He's gave me a lot of insight. I took the time to sit back, and it's not that I don't think I'd ever want to sell the media buying company. Or not that I don't think it has a potential to. I think it might one day, but do I think that's my main focus? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I want to build it to the point where I'm no longer needed in the sense of the day-to-day. Because at this point, I'm still needed on some stuff. Absolutely. I mean, it's a business. Am I needed as much as I was a year ago? No, but I'm needed. But I want to get to the point where it can kind of run smoothly without me. And I put the right people in the right places so that they don't need me. And then I can go and focus on other projects that I'm very happy about. And there's a couple right now that I'm working on. I don't want to talk too much about both, but they're very much so not associated to affiliate at all. I love them more than anything. It's things that I really want to focus on. They're business related. And they're scary because they're new ventures. But it's where I see myself growing. And in the businesses that I'm building currently, I see that going to a point where it's sellable. And I see it to a point where it could be, worth X amount of dollars one day. And the other one could be one that runs for, 50 plus, 100 plus years, something where I'm building long-term growth. And just taking everything I learned from the affiliate, plugging in my skills there. And then what I'm really trying to do is, I was funny, we were talking about this too, because one of my friends was like, you don't have any stocks, you don't like stocks. And I'm like, man, if I'm being honest with you, I really just like building new businesses and figuring it out. That's where my money goes. I like to figure it out. Because if I can it's not about like spreading too thin. I don't want to have like 20 businesses, but if I can have 3 or 4 and I love all of them, and then I can get to the point where, hey, I can put equity in here, and I don't know if you would term it maybe an angel investor or some sort of, serial entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. I want to be a part of projects where my skills are needed and I can actually provide input and grow the brands and grow the business with them. And if somebody else has a very great vision, I want to be a part of it. That's kind of where I see myself growing other brands and building more brands outside of affiliate. While affiliate's still running without me, it's what's making the money. I can then go apply my skills to things that can 10x the growth I've had in affiliate within, 3 years, 5 years, and build brands that I own, whether that be something, physical, something brick and mortar, something e-commerce. I'm leaning more towards a lot of new projects that the 2 that we're working on and another one that's coming up, and just being a part of something where you can own most of it. And that's the thing affiliates taught me. I want to own most of it. So let's say, it was a clothing brand. I'm not starting a clothing brand, but let's say, for example, I don't want to I'll start with the idea of the designs and all that. And then eventually the third party fulfillment, whatever. The things that I'm building now currently, I want to own all of it. I want to own the fulfillment. I want to own the production. I want to own, and I know that's risky. I know that's tough. I know that's what it is. But long term, that's kind of where I want to be in terms of in 5 years. I want to own
stuff like that.
Most of the stuff
more sellable, right? Like those, exactly. All you need is for one of those to hit and blow up. And and I know that's really work dependent, like how much you put into it, but
Yeah.
One of those is like, that could be your retirement, right? Like right there,
Yeah.
something works well. Someone's like, hey, this is a great business. I want to purchase it. You know, you sell it for 30 million, 40 million. You're you know, you're good.
Yeah. But even at that point, you know, I was talking to my dad about this. Let's say it sells for 50, 100 million. Do I think I'd ever stop? No. Right. I would never stop. I love it. I love doing it. Am I going to enjoy time? Yeah. I'm going to get a bunch of cars. Let's be honest. Like, yeah, I'm going to get a ton of cars, ton of watches. I'm going to have a lot of fun. Right. I love my cars and watches. I'm forever. Right. But it's not just what am I going to buy 10 cars and, you know, 20 watches and a big house. I'm going to sit there bored. But for me, it's like, I'll take the money, go apply my skill set at a higher level. Now I can, now I just have more money to do it at a higher level. I can go actually buy the company and make it better. I can actually go buy equity in this company that could turn to, you know, billions of dollars. And it's just more money is going to give me leverage to go do the things that I have the skills to do at a higher level. So just let's say you sell a company for 400 million. Okay. How do we get to $1 billion? That's all it really is. And look, and by no means am I sitting here saying, you know, it's easy. It's really hard. But I think my biggest passion is, you know, building the brands of my skill set and understanding my skills are valued. I think in the new brands we're building, it's really nice to see like people who don't understand affiliate, because these guys don't really understand affiliate. And they're like, whoa, like this is so valuable. You do this every day? He's like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? And they're noticing like our skills are very valuable. We can help people propel brands to a whole new level. And I don't think a lot of people know how good our skills are because they're so fixated on those shiny object offers. When you really talk to other people and they're like, I'm willing to pay you this and I'll give you equity and let's blow it up together. And you're like, really? Let's try.
Dude, it's really cool. I think we take it because we're in this shit so much. And like, to be fair, affiliate's challenging at times, especially the way it's kind of like gone. Right. And I think we forget that there's like easier, like, so I shouldn't say easier, but like there's easy, like it's easier to blow up like something like a brand
better
that
routes,
has no marketing,
better routes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
you'll meet guys.
Like, we have such an insane skill set. Like if we were like in corporate world with our skill set, like we'd be making, like,
oh my God,
solid salaries, right?
Make 2 million a month.
You know? So anyway, I think that like applying that to different businesses, like you can make or break a business just with the skill set we have.
I think a lot, to go to your point, I think a lot of people don't venture off enough because they're so in the bubble of affiliate. Affiliate Summit West, whatever. Go to e-commerce conferences, go to startup conferences, right? This is the biggest tip I'm going to give. Go to those conferences. I'll tell you what, you'll meet a guy that'll come up to you and be like, this is what you do. Okay. I'll give you equity in the company. I have $10 million backing me. I have $10 million in advertising spend. This is going to be your equity in the company. Let's just get it profitable. And you're like, all I got to do is run ads and not pay for them and not worry about burning some cash in the beginning. And then I'm going to get equity. Like, whoa, how many other people can I get to say yes to do this? And then what? You can go and build a team underneath that and be like, hey, media buyer 1, you're going to manage that project. Media buyer 2, you're going to manage that project. And guess what? Media buyer 1's assistants are going to run my lead gen. So I'm still making money, but now I'm part equity in this company and that company and this company and that company. Next thing you know, you got 10 companies like that you're growing and building and you're actually giving value to while your affiliate's running smooth.
And here's the thing, you're not ripping through Facebook accounts when you're running real brand shit.
Exactly. You know,
it's 10 times easier because there's no fucking redirects on anything.
And TikTok, you actually have a branded page. You're verified. You have verified page. It's great.
People are sharing your shit because it's real. You know, you don't have like 1,200 scam comments on your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. you know, you're not losing Facebook pages. You're
real testimonials, you know, and like all you're doing is just handling the front end advertising kind of things, you know, managing UGC actors you got or something, whatever.
A lot of these guys have systems that you would think are difficult. And then the biggest thing is like, you're learning the opportunities within that. They're like, they have customer service teams. They have tech teams. They have back end teams that are so foreign to what affiliate would be for a lot of people. And it's not only a way for you to obviously be a part of something bigger, you're learning a lot. A lot in the process.
Agree, man. I feel like we should just end it there because that's fucking awesome.
Well, I'm cool with that.
Bro, that's great. I don't know if you want to, you can say no to this. I don't really care. It's up to you. But if someone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to do so? Or if you don't want people to reach out to you, that's also totally fine, man.
No, that's fine. Yeah. I don't know because Skype is going away. I think on Skype or Telegram. So Telegram would be fine. It's Kareem. Like, do I just say it? So Kareem because there's no at. It's Kareem, click VS.
Click VS.
So
okay.
Kareem,
we can add it below if you want, or we can just like, you don't use Instagram that much, do you?
No, but you can hit me up on Instagram too. It's chemo.kmd. So KIMO _KMD.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate
Cool.
your time. And that was a really good one. I'm excited that we got to do this finally.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you having me on. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.